Hey, yo, Miko, we started this shit.
Right? Smelling like money each time that I walk through. Skin on glow, she the one with some ass too. Accessories, hat, sunglasses with the back to match. Fresh corn rolls, real long going down my back. Shining with the golden natural queen in control. Leading you to peasant, look like you trying to take my throne. Sign line hating, stop that front end shows. Shit, if you had the chance, you double back to be my clone. Coming like I'm fresh out, swagged out, popping my shit because I know I'm the best out. Hey now, get it on my own, don't need no nigga to take care of me. Got these niggas tripping, got them falling with two they knees. Craving it, earring shit and naming it. LA Ray shit, the realest authentic, it ain't no faking it. Always keep it solid, on and off and never switch. No, the realest off the way, never ever be that bitch, right?
You be having slaps.
Slappers, okay? Shout out to Ray.
Keep us young, girl.
Right. Ray's been moving and shaking and doing her shit.
Thank you.
Proud of you, Ray. This is for you, girl. It's a glass of champagne for you, honey.
It's for you and then some.
Right. Episode 18 Trio Podcast.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back. How y'all doing?
I'm
Like
good.
I can talk back and shit.
Talking to us.
I'm talking to y'all. How are y'all feeling, friends?
Fresh as
Oh my
ever.
God.
I'm blessed, man. I'm really blessed,
Yeah.
and I think we all are. So I think for me, last month was kind of like a heavy month. I have a thing of getting kind of like in my emotions, and I will get stuck there, regardless of what the emotion or whatever the feeling is, whatever phase that is, and I'll just be stuck in that moment. I can't really move past it until I kind of process why I'm even there.
Right.
So that took some time, and coming out of any type of funk, it's like being in a funk,
Right.
all that deep shit. Being in a funk and then getting out of it, there's always kind of like hindsight where you're like, damn, like I really have so much more to be grateful for than not.
Absolutely.
So I kind of had that kind of, moment maybe like at the start of the week. So it's been like a good start of the week.
Good.
Yeah, how about you guys?
Busy. Like, I haven't stopped since Friday.
Right, you haven't stopped, period.
I haven't stopped. And I'm exhausted as fuck. I need a nap, bitch. I just need a nap. Yeah, it's really, I guess, and I tweet this, it's like, you got to be prepared for what you manifest.
I know, that's right.
You have to really be prepared for it. So
110.
don't manifest something if you're not ready when the opportunity presents itself.
110%.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Everything that I've kind of just been working towards, manifesting, stirring in the pot is now finally coming to fruition. Like everything is happening.
The opportunities
now.
are presenting themselves.
Yeah, everything's happening. So I'm just trying to, again, now I'm back to finding that balance.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do need to rest, but it's been something going on every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And of course I'm a full-time mother, still, I have a 9 to 5. So trying to find that balance in my personal life, in addition to getting to the work, making sure I'm rested to be able to create,
Yeah.
and have my creative juices flowing, and not be sloppy on the job.
Sloppy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just, like you said, I'm blessed too. It's a lot of opportunities that finally have presented themselves that will allow me to, quit my 9 to 5 shit. We're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
And so that's where I'm at.
And
It's a
finding
lot
the
of good
balance.
shit. Yeah. And then over the weekend, it was a nice weekend. Of course, you performed at what?
So, folks, thank you guys so much for having me right in Leimert Park again, girl. I'm starting to feel like, this the area. Yeah, that was super dope to see all our people out there. It just felt good, like being amongst our people. Like, and of course they're trying to like shut down the Leimert Park little junction, that whole little area. They're trying to buy the building. So folks talked about bidding in on the property with other Leimert Park community members and things like that. So hopefully that goes all the way through. We do not want to lose that section of our community. That's literally all we have.
That's all we have.
We can't have shit.
Right. No, that's true. And I wanted to speak on that. I was talking to Janice about that earlier. Like, a kid was mentioned, like they're trying to buy the building.
It's crazy.
But but it's not just that building. It's the whole village.
The whole
they knocking
thing.
on doors. Like, okay, we got a bag for you. Do you want to sell?
Isn't that sick?
It's sick.
That's sick. Anyway, Mookie, how are you doing?
Right.
Hi, friend.
Hello. I was going to interrupt, like, wait.
what about
me? Y'all getting ahead, but I'm like,
Right.
all right, let's relax. Let's see where it's going.
Right.
I'm good. Thanks for sharing, Fallon. Like,
Yeah.
just being in the funk, it is so hard to get out, and so many people, more than you know, it gets stuck. And I like myself. I mean, I like Christian is really trying to find a balance, like returning to school as a full-time student, being a
Yes, absolutely.
being a full-time employee is really tough. Like, there is no work-life balance. Like, college is made for the young. You know what I mean? And hats off to those who can do it with a multitude of things on their plate. You know. Shit, even if you don't have a lot on your plate, it's just heavy. It's crowded without the extra, you know? So, it's just tough, but you know, I'm just happy I'm finally here. This testimony at the end is going to be very, very great. I don't know what's at the end of this tunnel. You know, I don't even know how long it keeps going.
It's the finish line,
because it's full of so many.
Line.
It's full of so many different things. You know what I mean? Like a decade ago or 2 decades ago, it was just all about like, what are you doing with your life? And it was like you had a few avenues, and there's so many like degree holders that's turned into creators. There's such a pivot that's going on right now. It's so interesting. So like for me, it's just combining the best of both worlds. And
for those that don't know exactly what's your field,
she might not have wanted to disclose
I
it.
didn't.
You know,
like,
no.
You don't want to share what field you're going into?
No.
Okay,
Movies did not share on the pot, and it's
I
fine.
She might want to share.
It's
what
totally
she's doing
fine.
in her life. But
She in college, okay?
Because I used to have that in my bio. Like load in ...
Okay.
And people used to like say some shit to me based on my views.
Really?
So,
What they say?
Just like, you know, you're going to make a terrible XYZ or, you know, you should change your mindset going into this particular field. They would say a lot of
because they couldn't separate. They couldn't separate.
They couldn't separate it. So it's like when I arrive,
you'll know.
You will know.
The marathon continues.
Until then, right.
On some real
But
shit.
yes, but we're almost there. We're almost there.
Absolutely.
3 more years, including master's degree. So
that's fire.
Do your shit, girl.
Yes, bitch. Yes.
Early toast. Early toast.
Early toast. Okay, getting through that statistics and shit.
Oh my
we had many
goodness.
conversations about that.
Right.
Girl kept failing and failing, and
Yeah.
my teachers was like, "Bitch, look,
Right. Get it together.
I need you to come on."
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to my nephew Elijah. We dropped him off at college on Friday. It was so bittersweet. Elijah's attending University of Merced. For anybody that doesn't know where Merced is, it's up north. It's right after Fresno, right before Sacramento.
Okay.
So it took us about 4.5 hours to get there. We drove, me and my sister. And it's a beautiful campus. I was so excited for him because I didn't get to experience the college life like
On
that.
campus.
You know, I graduated college, online eventually.
Right.
But coming out of high school and going into a dorm and really experiencing that.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
I was
different
like,
life.
damn, I really wish I would have been able, if I could do anything over, it
Yeah.
would have been that. Going into the dorm. Even if he stays there for a year, he gets to experience
That experience, yeah.
So, I was so excited. I'm like, oh, this is how it looks. I've never really been in a dorm
It's
like that.
exciting.
And
Girl, no bills.
Right.
Shit, no real
Walking,
obligations.
and he joined a Christian club. He found a club like literally that night. He just roamed the campus, found some kids. So I'm like, this is the life.
I love that.
He's gonna
Being
do
so
so
liberated.
well. He's gonna do so well. I'm so
and
proud
then
of him.
that particular school is for creatives. Like there's a student that's going there for music production. It's not just the typical norm. Majors. It's really for creatives. Like if you want a graphic design, if you want to, digital art.
A lot of schools have to
He has
tweak
a
their
skateboarding class,
they
like
have
the
Because
art
the climate is
skateboarding.
changing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has just taken a
Shifting.
class like the art of skateboarding. I'm like, this is new.
Like the
the approach and shit, how to backflip off the fucking ramps
approach.
and shit. Like, what does that mean?
Right.
That's
The
hilarious. But I'm
climate
just saying,
is shifting.
it's for creatives,
It's shifting. They have to in order to keep up. Like
Right.
at this point, what else is one interested in? They have to keep up.
Yeah.
If not, then they will have low enrollment rates.
Right. They can't have that.
Right. Like if they had
Miss
I don't
Moore's
know,
over there getting
whatever
on.
the case it may be, but
Tussle cat, pussy cat.
Pussy cats.
but congrats to Elijah. That's such a big accomplishment.
It is.
Like I
Super
love
proud.
it.
Yeah.
Right. Should be a proud.
We used to
auntie.
change his diapers.
And right?
Girl, that just shows
Right.
you all those early kid experiences that we had. Khalid, Kaylin, Elijah. Girl, those was my introductions to babyhood because I didn't grow up with siblings with me all the time. They grew up on my with my dad. So yeah. Anyway, sidebar.
Right. Whew.
Yeah, and congratulations to all the kids who are not the kids, but
Students.
those,
returning
the
back.
students
Yeah,
who's
returning
entering
back to
into
school.
college and taking this first step out of the house and their first leap into adulthood. I just think that's amazing. So
Yeah.
keep it up.
And
Shout
coming
out
out
to
of
you,
COVID
parents.
too. Like
yeah.
it's been a whole year some change. Like
I know.
being at home and
Yeah.
having to now be reintroduced
Yeah.
back to that life.
Yeah.
These kids were like, excuse me.
I know. It was
I
so-
can't imagine what the classroom
different
teachers
climate
are going through.
Yeah, totally
Trying to
different
get the kids
climate.
back readjusted to that setting.
Yeah, well, cheers.
Yeah, shout out
We'll
to
drink for y'all.
Cause y'all came.
Right, we'll drink to y'all. So what's tea? I know we got some tea.
Do we have any tea before we get into the topic?
We can start with you.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's in real life. We can start with
We
you.
can start with you. We can. We can start with you.
What's happening in your life? Are there any loves in your notice
First of all, you already know what the fuck I just been through. Well,
Ooh.
oh my God. Well, last week was tough. You know, we had a topic we talked about. I wanted to kind of understand like how men think.
What's up, Kenny?
Right. Shout out to Kenny for that. He gave some great advice. And I want to do like a public apology to someone. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, I want to do a public apology to someone. I'm not gonna say no names, but he knows who he is.
Okay.
But you know what? It was some things said on last week's episode that kind of were like a jagger. You know what I mean? To this particular person that's in my life, that has been in my life for a very long time. And, you know, I think he might be my person. You know, I think he really might be my person. And he was hurt by some things I said on the show. So I'm doing a public apology to him.
Nice.
Because I think that's the right thing to do, honestly. I'm doing a public apology to him because he really didn't deserve, you know, the things that were said publicly. You know, publicly. And we're very transparent on this show.
This is literally girl talk.
This is girl talk. We're,
on wax.
We're super transparent
So
on this show.
that.
We're not hiding shit. You know, we talk about what it is. So I did want to go on record to apologize to him because, you know, me saying some certain things about another guy publicly kind of hurt him.
Yeah.
And it kind of really like put our situation in a really, you know, strange
Kind of awkward
space.
place.
You know, so, and he's really somebody that has been holding me down for a very long time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like a real friend through the good, bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
And so he deserves that, you know. So
Yeah.
I love you.
Okay. You
Finally
gotta
send you some flowers and shit.
I
right?
know, right? We got to be outside this house with a boombox now.
That is
Not a boombox singing in the rain. and shit.
like, forgive me.
Right.
It's different when we have transgression. Like, it's just, and we talked about that. Like,
Yeah.
it's a different. It's just different. It's just different. It's weighted different. I don't know. That's not fair per se. But girl, she's frisky. That's what you call frisky. If y'all
The
can
cat
see
is
this
on
cat
one
getting off.
today. She was fighting outside. I'm like, what is going on?
She's so
Got into a whole
she's so
scuffling shit
frisky.
outside.
Got a little-
She might be in
Getting
heat.
into a fight with that straw. Like,
feline.
Might be
that
in
bitch
heat,
don't want
honey.
it.
She might be in heat.
She might be. She frisky.
She like, bitch, I ain't had nothing.
Okay, well, shout out to the apology. The apology. You know, sometimes we run our mouth a little bit. You know, a little
Yeah,
bit.
we just be here chilling, talking open,
So
honestly,
openly.
and sometimes
And
it
you
just
know,
come out
we
the
had
wrong
a
way,
real
so-
whole powwow about it, you know, and the
Well, that was
situation
nice of you.
is what it
Very
is and what
nice.
it was. But
That was
you
nice.
know,
I mean, sometimes it's just being accountable for yourself.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, more oftentimes than not, is really just holding yourself accountable for
sure.
what you did. You know, because
For
sometimes
sure.
we get caught up in the reverse. Not, well, if you are what and it's like, okay, well, this time it was totally on you.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
this is separate from you, but just
Right.
speaking in general.
In general,
of course,
yeah.
So, yeah. So we hope you accept the apology. We had nothing to do with it.
Listen,
So
they really didn't.
I just want to be clear.
Love them still.
like
With
with
sign,
premeditated.
We're on, pardon me, Christian, but we
And to be
just caught in
fair,
the crossfire.
it's exactly what you said last week.
No, it's
like,
not.
no.
Let her clear it up,
Right.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you said as far as men having the wrong idea of where your friends even stand on the
Right.
situation.
Yeah.
We are advocates, little do you know. So we're actually trying to, you know, encourage as much as we can for the
Preach,
things that
Bishop.
feel real. You know what I'm
Preach,
saying?
Bishop.
So
And
you
you
would be surprised.
You gave me a
Preach,
whole
Bishop.
real conversation about that.
Literally.
Yeah, you did.
So I know we all know what's real. You know what I'm saying? And when people show up in certain ways, you know, they may not be perfect, but you cannot negate the fact that people have been there or are trying to be there or putting those efforts forward.
We're grown.
And we're grown.
And we're constantly learning. We don't know.
So, yeah. Team.
Until that shit tested,
I'm
then
team-
you be like,
I'm
wait
team-
a minute,
Yeah, I'm team-
wait.
Don't even trip.
Don't trip.
Don't even trip.
They got your back.
It's like that Martin and Gina episode was like, nigga, step. And then Gina like, wait, Gina, wait.
That was so funny.
Wait. It's over until you really try to go somewhere.
Right.
Fucked up.
And he's fighting. I'm gonna tell you, he's a fighter.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
And Tyson over there.
Bitch.
Knock that pussy out like fight night.
All right.
Anyway,
I'm not gonna make light of your feelings, but okay.
Like that pussy out like fight night.
Right. What that lady say?
She's childish. She's a little bit.
All my life I
Hit
had
the bottom.
some
Hit the
fights.
bottom of that thing.
Girl, the bottom of the pee hole. Girl, not the bottom. I can't handle it.
She had you proposing and shit.
What that shit Chris be doing like
Girl, them combinations. He be doing that shit hard as fuck. Like, nigga, relax.
Bro, relax.
Relax.
please.
You got it. It's okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Any other tea?
Order.
Or is that so? We just gonna ask Christian for her tea, and we all should share
Y'all
some
got
tea.
tea, bitch.
No.
Don't try to put it on me.
No, this
Well,
was
go
said,
for
no,
it.
with a straight face. No. I don't have no. I
No.
don't have any tea. I do have some tea. Do I have any tea?
Go for it.
I don't have any tea, but I did shout out on my Baby Mama Chronicles page. I know I've been just like you talked about. There were so many different things going on.
Mm-hmm.
We have the music, we got the pod, I have the BMC, I have Flower Child. Nay and I are collaborating on some things or whatever. You know, she's the esthetician, so she's doing beauty products. Like, there's all these different like avenues and things like that. But I did catch up on the BMC. Y'all can go ahead and check that out. I'll maybe put it in the bio or something like that. Y'all can check that out on the Baby Mama Chronicles page. But I talked about just kind of being in a transition as far as my relationship is concerned, because when people go into relationships, partnerships, and this could be business, you know what I'm saying? This could be, trying to solidify relationships with your family. Just because we're born into families with people doesn't mean that we're by default just best friends.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of really understanding the complexities of people and accepting people as a whole.
Yes.
And how over time, even though I've known this person for 10 years, like, I learn new stuff about him all the time. He reveals different pieces of who he is to me all the time. And you think you know somebody like down to the core, and we really don't. Like, it's always something to learn. It's always something to gain perspective on. And sometimes I can be a very black and white thinker.
Right.
Like, if if this action comes out of your being, then this is who you are.
Exactly.
Well, we're not that. We're a makeup of all of it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just a matter, I think, of every time. Who is it today? Bob Barker and shit.
How do you adjust to that?
To
The different things that you're discovering about somebody after so much time. Like, because at 10 years, it's like, nigga, I should know you to a T. I should have been able to explore it. I should have been able to see and all the reveals.
and you know the person.
But he's also probably growing and changing too.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? As just a human.
Yeah, the person from the perspective of, he's allergic to peanut butter. You know what I'm saying? He can't be around this because he hates this, or he doesn't like this. His likes, his dislikes. You know what I'm saying? Things that kind of like rub him the wrong way. Like all of those like formalities and those types of things. But the deep-seated things that kind of shape us into who we are, those things don't usually come out until much later. And sometimes they come out because they're triggered to come out. Because once you're in that close partnership or proximity with somebody, or if we're in a business relationship or something like that, we get 5 years down the line or whatever, and we've been working great together, and then something happens where I'm triggered in a certain way from something that may have happened to me when I was 7 years old, and now I'm looking at you and I'm projecting and I'm feeling like, oh, you're the face of that person when you have nothing to do with that. But maybe that incident is something that needs to be talked about and discussed based on that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of inner working. It's a lot of work. Relationships are partnerships, whatever, friendships, right? Like, they're work. Do not get in, to no relationship. And that's what I talked about on my channel. Like, don't be trying to get into no relationship. Talk about you want to be married to somebody, you want to be partnered with somebody. If you're not willing to bare your soul and kind of be open in a way where your ego is tucked back, but you're kind of vulnerable, because that's what's required if you really want to like have success with it. Not even with just that person, but just on your own shit. Because you could leave that person tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But just on your own shit, you have to learn how to kind of like navigate through that. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. That ain't no tea, bitch. Like,
I was waiting for like the whole like the.
It's on a tie-in.
I was waiting for it, bitch. I was like, wait, okay, this sounds a little bit okay.
Right. Ellen podcast.
I'm done. Bitch, I'm done. I have nothing. I'm sorry.
Right. No, that was some great
It
insight.
was at least something, right?
That was some great insight.
It's just rocky. All relationships are not. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to illustrate.
And to kind of piggyback off that, is Fallon's absolutely correct in that assessment. Like, and my takeaway from that is you have to completely be full.
Yeah.
Because people are constantly changing in relationship spaces. They're constantly growing. They're constantly finding themselves. And sometimes you don't even identify who this person is depending on what it is that they're going through.
Right.
You know, you ever dated somebody who have a bunch of money than none? That is not the same person. Or none than get some, or in between, or, you know what I mean? Just whatever season they're in their life. Like, you really have to be willing to walk through, you know, the journey with them.
Right.
And if you're not secure enough, you'll start to blame yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You'll start to look at yourself and project and wonder, oh, whoa, it's me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that kind of goes into a little bit of our topic today about just like body imagery and just how real it is. And, and just body positivity and things of that sort. And I'll share just a little bit of the importance because the topic was brought up based on Lizzo.
Right.
I believe like the media and some fans had some criticism, right? But for her and Cardi B dropped the song Rumors.
Yes.
Right. And they had some things to say about her. I know I think like maybe T.I. came to her defense and a few other people.
Remy Ma did.
Yeah, like a few people did they spoke up about it. One, I'm happy they did too. That shit is so fucking old.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just that whole fat shame or whatever the case it is really old, and Lizzo is beyond talented, and I'm happy that she represents a slew of young girls, a slew of individuals. Fuck young, you know, shit of all ages of just fucking love yourself.
She helped break that barrier of like the statistics of what you're supposed to look like in the industry.
What you have to look like, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? It's always been like bad bitch, you know, a nose a certain way. Everybody looks the same. Everybody has like this Kim Kardashian like
filter face
look. You know what I'm saying? That body, that the hair, and you know, the booty has to be shaped a certain way. The titties are plumped up a certain way. Like, no, we're black women and we're curvy as fuck. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Not all of us are a size 4.
And curvy doesn't always mean hourglass.
Exactly.
That's
She's
the
a
biggest
full-figured woman.
That's the biggest takeaway.
That has talent, and she broke through. And I feel like she was one of the ones, like in the newer generation, that really kick them doors down. Now it's a lot of women that look like her that can finally come out and expose themselves like, oh, I got talent too. Lizzo did it, I can do it too.
Right.
And that's so important. Yeah. To have somebody that you can kind of look at.
And we're in a space where you have to.
Absolutely.
Like nobody's really going for that. That's the one upside of social media having a voice is that everyone could scream of what they appreciate.
Everyone has a space.
Of course, it's the downside. The very thing I love is the very thing I do hate about it. You know, like the people kind of demand what they want, not so much the machine. The machine rallies behind what the people want. You know what I mean? So it's like our voice is loud in that space. You know what I mean? So I just think that was just whack. I honestly, I'm tired of the conversation around Lizzo and her weight because it takes away from her talent.
Yeah.
I also don't like that her fans automatically think you don't like her because of her weight. It's like stop highlighting it, please, because it's not doing any good. Also, you know what I mean? Like, no, she's just not for me.
And she can't do shit. She can't even wear a halter top and walk around in a
She's
panty and a
unapologetic
bra
about it, and people
without
are
people
off-put.
calling her fat or talking about her rolls.
Yeah, if you're a certain weight, you have to tiptoe around wanting to feel sexy or wanting to be provocative, and not in a negative way, but just kind of like, you know, embodying just like sex appeal or whatever. That's the gift that we've been given as women, if that's what we want to do, if that's the, you know, role or whatever position that we want to take. Women that are over a certain dress size or whatever or weight don't really get that luxury. I did want to say though,
that's a fact though.
Do you guys feel that she, because the thing is too, I do feel sometimes as far as just like body image and things like that, there's one thing about feeling the pressure to fit into a certain box, and then there's also the dynamic, if we have to think about polarity and everything has like balance, there's also the other side of sometimes women do want to do that, as far as like they don't want to necessarily look like that, but they don't necessarily have the courage to go down the road to change what it is that they don't like.
I see what you're saying.
What do you mean?
Right.
Meaning, like, if you're a certain weight, let's say you're Lizzo, and not like, and we're just speaking on Lizzo just because she's the topic of conversation. She's somebody out here in these streets, so we'll just use her as a placeholder. But if you're somebody that is being shamed for your size or whatever because it doesn't look like the template that Instagram says is the hottest shit at the moment, like, you know, do you really are you comfortable and confident in what it is that you look like deep down inside? Because a lot of the times it's like a bravado of I'm confident. Girl, hear me roar. I look good. I'm about to have these titties out. Whether they say I'm about to have this body out, whatever. But do you really feel like that?
Exactly.
And I think it's important to acknowledge the truth and the confidence in whatever your experience is. And so if it's something that you really deep down do have an issue with, it's okay to say that too.
Exactly.
I don't necessarily want to be in this body. I would, you know what I'm saying, want to be a little bit smaller. You know, I don't want to be a toothpick, but I want to be this size, or however it is that you want to look.
And I'm sure she probably has a personal trainer. Or a chef, you know what I mean, or somebody that's at home cooking her meals, that's preparing her meals on a healthy level.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you want to,
right.
if you have desires to look different, you don't have to feel bad about that. In the process of getting there, you can still celebrate where you're at.
Exactly.
But I think that sometimes women, and that's women of all shapes and sizes. You know what I'm saying? Some that are skinny, some that are big, and we'll get into our own personal stories or whatever. But like, it's a thing of I don't want to bring that to the forefront because I'm ashamed, or I don't want to get criticized, or I don't want people to know that I really deep down have an issue with it too.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's something to think about.
And she could be battling with that too because she's a star. She's a celebrity, so she could be battling with that. But I feel like right now this is just my personal, input. I think that where she is right now in her life, she's like, I love my body.
Right.
But going back to what you said, like, I could be a size smaller, or two.
Right.
And we don't know. She probably, like I said, she probably has a trainer. She has a personal chef.
We have no idea.
We have no idea.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she's probably been working towards, like, I could get a little smaller just for my health, I could drop some pounds a little bit because in the long run, I don't want to have diabetes or whatever. I don't want to have, high cholesterol.
But that's a slippery slope because small people have diabetes. Small people have high cholesterol too. So we can't put it all on a weight factor. Right. You know what I mean? Some things is hella hereditary like that. You know what I mean? So it gets into a slippery slope because we even have pencil thin people who suffer from bulimia. Let me not even say pencil thin. We have really thin people who suffer from bulimia who's super small and see themselves as fat. You know what I'm saying? So the way you see your body is super important, And for all we know, she can really celebrate her body because she's her. Like, she probably ain't losing nothing. You know what I mean? But because it's not the norm, then we criticize it. Oh, you need to be smaller. Because when she tried to lose weight, they attacked her for doing that. Monique lost weight, attacked her for doing that.
Now you're too skinny. Or Adele. Or
at this point.
Anybody who loses, it's because it's like once you choose to represent this particular community and you try to size down, then it's almost
now
like,
you're not
what
confident.
are you doing that for? You're not confident.
Right.
So it's a slippery slope when you
Well, shit.
When you do get there,
like,
but
damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That's true, but it's like I feel like if she's really confident in who she is, then I think she should lean into that. But I also know that it's hard to ignore so many people talking shit to you. You know what I mean? Because I can't.
Did she have a breakdown?
It was like she on Instagram. That kind of is what kind of.
Yeah.
Let me get my shoe,
because
y'all.
it's like a lot of people talking a bunch of shit about her all fucking day, and I know she gets tired of it, but for all we know, she could be fucking happy. That confidence sell, like you can't pretend. You can't upload pictures like she do and not really mean that shit, because confidence speaks before your mouth says hello. You know what I mean? So, I mean, hey, Lizzo.
if you're watching
Girl,
this,
these broke ass
this,
people that don't have anything going.
Team.
But like you said, like, of course, I'm sure that's her mindset 90% of the time.
Yeah.
But we're not, infallible. Like, we're gonna at some point feel affected by all of this wave of negative energy. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that negative energy does come from men, which is a whole nother subtopic. First of all, we're going to probably have to break this whole conversation down in sections. You got the body dysmorphia, like what you're talking about. That's like a facet of it. And then something else that I talked about on my page too was just like the societal pressure. And you're talking about that too, like the Kim Kardashian filter face. There is a standard now that women have to look a certain way.
Yep.
The algorithm pushes it. If you go on your Instagram right now, ladies, and go through the filters or whatever,
Everybody
first of
looks the
all,
same.
you won't even see any black women on the filter options. all of the women are white or
Yep.
what is ambiguous, racially ambiguous. None of them are black, so they're not trying to give you any features that enhance your already black features. I don't know.
I'm kind of nervous if they were to try to do some shit that represent black women, how it would look.
Well, I'm just saying that it's clear clear that that's not the standard,
right?
You know, because they don't necessarily look like lily white, blonde with blue eyes, but they're racially ambiguous, which is the Kim Kardashian model. So not only
it's
is it
cinching in the nose looks a certain way. The bone cheeks,
the cheeks,
are high,
but the lips look like ours, and then you have like the perfect hairline. It's just super weird. But I mean, and then of course the body parts of it. You know, all of these women that are having all these surgeries and all of this other type of stuff. It's so many different layers, but men do play a major part in it. And on the page, I was just talking about men liking pictures on Instagram, and a lot of the energy that they give on Instagram are centered around women that look like that.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, they'll, you know, and this is like for the women or whatever who's dudes or dudes that they like in relationship, they husbands or whatever, liking all these girls' pictures. Like, why are you liking these? Is this what you want?
Exactly.
Because then women start to feel the pressure. Men don't understand that women then feel the pressure to compete. You know, because if this is, I want to make you happy. I want you to think I'm sexy. I want you to think I look good. You know, so there's a pressure to fit into that model. You know what I'm saying? Which is effed up. But men kind of hold that key to that. Which is why so many women are like,
they do it on both ends because now it's at their fingertips. Before it was in their magazines. So they liked what they like. It's just now
we see it.
You can see it because you've always had the chance to see it because they had the Kings magazine, the Smooth magazine, the Playboy magazines. In that era, this shit was always right. It was always there.
Right.
Now it's just millions of it at their fucking disposal.
Right.
You know what I mean? All day, every day, somebody's giving you something to like. And then it sucks at the same time because once you know a woman does reach a level of confidence, you do have the women. Chloe Haley, one of the Beyonce girls.
Okay.
She has stepped into her sexiness. You could tell she, you know, is really coming into herself.
Sure.
And who's ripping her to shreds? Other women.
Right.
She's doing too much. Oh my God, it's forced, it's fake, it's this, it's that. And it's like, why can't you allow her just to own her?
Right.
Because it's a lot of gimmick bullshit where just post your ass and go. Leave the deep caption and go.
Right.
And go, bitch.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of it. Let's just call a spade a spade. There's no need to soften what it is. And I think that's the problem where we got to, where we can't just speak openly because it's offense somewhere. Someone will be offended in something. I'm sorry. Like, just post your ass and go. There's no need to act like this is a self-appreciation post.
Right.
Now we talk about body positivity, but it's not.
You can tell.
You can tell you can tell the difference, and it's that whole that whole competing thing. You know, that's why everyone is getting these surgeries.
Talk about that.
Everyone wants this surgery. Everyone wants a small waist and a fat face.
Fat ass.
A small waist.
No.
Candy talked about that.
A fat face. For what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just kind of like, it's crazy because back in the day, we really just had models to look at.
Yeah.
You know, that was really it. Nowadays, it's like it's trickled so far down that the girl who lived next door is flying out to Mexico to go get her stomach done, her teeth done, to talk. It's just trickled down. I reserve judgment from there, but it's just kind of like,
that's funny.
Just a body appreciation is just self acceptance or just loving you. It's just so different.
It's tough, especially on social media. You know, it's so like all of y'all look alike. No shade, but shade.
Carbon copies.
All of y'all look alike. Every single chick on Instagram, they all. There's a look.
Mookie.
There's a look. I'm sorry, I didn't even try to grab the shit. There's a look, and I'm really kind of over it. The look, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody's
there's no
hair looks. Everybody's hair. Y'all wearing these wigs. They all look alike. It's from the hair. It's the hair
it's
down to the toe.
The crew.
Yeah.
Camille always be like, I'm so happy. My circle of friends are
genuine.
Yeah.
She does
visuality amongst friends. You can tell this genuine friendship. Like some people look like they went around and said, you. Let's go be friends. Let's go be social media friends. Like everyone looks just alike. And they get mad when they fucking the same people. Like,
Right.
you are, well, whatever, different story.
Right.
Like, everyone, but no, they do. Everyone looks the same. Everyone wants to have the same style of humor, the same lash, the same wig, the same curve, the same shoe, the same everything.
But that's why I say that men hold the key to that, because if that's what men are paying attention to, if a woman is not cognizant and conscious of her being and who she is and has a really strong sense of self, which all of us are human, so it can be shaken at different points in times. You know what I'm saying? We all have insecurities, but you have a pretty good grasp and handle, or you would hope that you have a pretty good grasp and handle on who you are as a person. If you do not, you definitely will fall victim to wanting to appease to whatever it is that men want, because ultimately we all want husbands.
Yeah.
We all want partnership. We all want, and if this is what all of the men are paying attention to, the girl with the fat ass, the girl with the jawline, or whatever y'all posting, then women are going to try to emulate that.
Years ago, a former friend of mine said,
Who, bitch? What former friends? We don't have no former friends, bitch.
a former male friend of mine said, it's a difference between what I prefer and what I want.
Pause. I mentioned that on my on my page. I thought it was your cousin.
No, someone else said that.
Are you sure it wasn't your
I'm
cousin?
positive.
You know your cousin that gave us all this game, right?
I'm positive who told me this. I was his girlfriend at the time when he told me, and I was like,
Okay, I got
questioning
the
him
stories
about,
mixed.
Break it
Okay,
down.
sorry.
I wanna
Go
hear
ahead.
about
about
his
like this
philosophy
is
on
your
that.
particular type of woman, like, because the whole thing was like, I ain't your type, like, you like this, I'm not that.
Right.
And he was like, what's the difference? Well, damn, that was fucked up to say to me now, and I said it out loud. But or maybe we
Which
wasn't
I
together
talked
at the
about.
time. Or maybe we wasn't together. But I remember us having a conversation, and him saying what I prefer, or what I want versus what I prefer. Whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, like, I prefer this. Like, yeah, this is cool, but this is what I want to be mine. I'm gonna take her home.
To be at
I
home.
like this from time to time. You know, like, no, I'm sorry. I prefer this. I may want that a little bit, but I prefer this to go home with me. Something like that.
It's interchange either way,
Right.
on whatever side of the coin. Right. It's a difference. It's a difference.
I was trying to remember which way he said it, because I'm
Right.
like, damn, okay, like, yeah, that's cool, but
Right.
whenever we do get to those type of women, and we always end up in like the relationship area, I just be feeling like they ain't shit, and I know that's fucked up to say.
Who, the niggas or the
bitches?
The bitches.
Oh, what
yeah.
you mean? Like in what? Oh, with the
Like,
ones that are
Y'all ain't shit.
Like that?
Not
we
all
haven't-
of y'all.
Like most of them, a lot of them just really kind of just they hopping
with that look. You
and
mean?
boppers.
Well, yeah. I mean,
You know,
they
it's
have
like escort services and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean,
Oh my god, shit.
let me say, yeah. Oh my god.
Wait,
Getting flown out from nigga to
Flew
nigga is an
out.
escort service. Is an
But for
escort,
me,
so-
I never judge.
Whoa,
And
that's
I'm
off
not
the
judging
record.
nobody. Like if a nigga want to fly me out, I mean it'd be my nigga, but fly me out. and
Now
shit.
the bitch got to.
This is
Excuse me, let me take that back.
I mean, booking in our
Not
booking
That's hilarious.
Can't be the majority.
Everybody,
Sorry.
Bookings and like,
But if you
Sorry,
hustling
but-
that way and you getting your shit off like that, and you
Yeah.
know that that's what you're selling in order to get to an end, it is what it is. You know what I'm
We
saying?
just talk
I don't.
shit.
I'm talking about for the woman that's really trying to find herself, and struggling with looking in the mirror in comparison and seeing those images in comparison to what,
You know what I would say?
images are being pushed
I
through the
would- I
algorithm.
would say you that to that person, like this could be me to whoever.
Right.
Like I would honestly say that's when you have to validate you and not seek
Yeah.
to find
Yeah.
any validation anywhere else in any
And
man
sometimes
either.
too,
Hold
that
on.
can be-
Not
okay.
even the man that you're with.
Yeah.
At all, because almost anything he does can come back and say, oh, this is me. This is something physically about
Yeah.
me. Like something fell off. I've gained the weight. I've lost a pound. Maybe my hustle ain't strong enough, or
Right.
maybe it's something else. The last season bag, like you can compare it to
Correct.
so many different things, but it's almost like you have to really validate you and understand, like, no, you love my spirit, you love my soul, you love the essence me as a woman, and it's beyond that, because you can easily get caught up in what the shit look like,
Yeah.
and it can really be nothing on the other side. So anybody in that space, you would have to like really own your shit.
Right.
And if that shit is too heavy, and if you that caught up in that, then I would say step back and analyze what's up with you, to where you're in a constant space of comparison, as they know
Right.
that's the thief of joy in all things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's almost like you can't. And if it's that serious, you need to pull back from social media. You need to change up what you look at, because you create your algorithm at the end of the
That's
day.
true.
You know what I mean?
That's
so
true.
I would say that to anybody, because it is tough. if you in a relationship and you looking around, you see your man like XYZ and you looking back at you like, what the fuck?
I'm like,
or,
well.
even when you see it yourself and you looking back at you, it's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it, because it appears as the dating market, and it's like, what the fuck?
For
you
sure.
know? So I would say you would have to 100% validate yourself and really know your strength as a woman and know what you bring and everything else, and not get caught up in the short shit of what it looks like.
Yeah.
Right. Well
and I know
said.
that can take some time, because I've been on that side of the coin where I've been with
Absolutely.
somebody that kind
We
of,
all have.
I felt like, well, damn, I'm not enough.
Right.
Like, let me.
Or I
do
don't
have-
look
do
like
I have
that.
to keep my nails fucking done because I know you like nails a certain way?
Right.
Do I have to wear something that looks like what you like all fucking day and what you throw in my face, or what you want me to wear?
Or are
when
you
I
going to
don't
be
wear
tempted
that?
to get that from somewhere else if I don't embody this 24/7?
Exactly.
Right.
And a lot of my insecurities have come from men.
Right.
Like, it's been, most of my insecurities that I have had since I can remember have been from a boyfriend or a guy that I might have liked, or a relationship.
Telling you something about yourself.
Right.
Oh, this is not this, or this is not that, or why don't you have this, or why don't you do that, or why don't you, like, bitch.
Instead of really just kind of embracing.
Why don't
what it
you?
is
Why
that
don't you
I
tell your
am.
mama to go do it? Because that bitch look a mess.
Oh.
Sorry, I went somewhere.
Right.
Sorry.
I mean,
Sorry.
but that's your mama
and
though.
while she drink, I would say, I think some of my insecurities were very indirect, never blunt to say, why don't you have? It just came a lack of doing. Like, why are we not doing XYZ? Why am I not around XYZ? Let's go do whatever the case may be. Are we looking at something and you drooling over this person? Are you acknowledging that you don't like this person? You know what I mean? Or I can look back at your past and like, okay, I'm nothing like them.
Like
What's up?
those, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like, you know when you're not somebody's type.
Right.
You can't force fake. You can't make that into something.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
so that's where some of my insecurities within a relationship has
Flip
come
it on
from.
these niggas and start acting like that, then they crying and shit. So it's a whole
Girl,
nother situation.
well, they have insecurities too,
Yeah,
and,
no,
and from what
We
I
just
hear, as far
protect
as like
them.
body image too, they definitely look at themselves
I
sometimes
feel
and feel
like we
like
protect our men a little bit more than they protect us.
it's different. I mean,
Yeah.
we have the pressure of being aesthetically pleasing. They have the pressure of being financially stable.
Right.
So it's just a different type of pressure. So I won't, that's a whole nother topic. I mean, they have their own struggles and their whole own hurdles to get over. But I mean, body image for women is just so and it starts early. I have a 13-year-old daughter. They begin to start looking at and now they're growing up through Instagram. Now we have music videos, we had some different things or whatever that.
But this is different.
But this is kind of
is different.
crazy.
'Cause even back then, it was more natural.
It was
They
natural.
They all had
Oh.
natural bodies.
Granted, they were natural. They were super like lean, slim, but it
With a little, maybe a
this-
boob job here and there, you'll see. But
right, but for the most part, when it comes to skin tones, textures, hair length, and all that shit, it wasn't to where it is today.
exactly.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It wasn't to that
The representation, you mean?
Boom.
Right.
So there was that that
And
default
you
in
still
it.
have to have cable to get to the videos. Like
Right,
it
low
wasn't
key.
accessible.
Yeah.
They got it all right
Right.
here all day long,
And they're
and
looking at it all
and
day,
we
yeah.
see it, but they see it too. My daughter got a phone. All her friends got phones. Everybody got phones.
So they out there in the duck lips, the lip gloss, the weaves, the
Lashes.
nails, all,
And it's
all
kind of
of
sad
that, 'cause
too,
it trickles all the way down.
now they're like not wanting to take photos without the filters.
Girl, I look like
know,
a bald-headed boy on one of these pictures that I got or whatever, girl, when I was in the 12th grade. I look like a kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? We look like kids. You know what I mean? But there's even a pressure for the youth to, follow this model. So it's a scary place. Like, you really have to have, as women, if you have daughters, or if you have nieces, if you have, mentees that are, under you that you're trying to, help navigate through, you yourself have to be such a pillar of strength to ward off any of that pressure. You know what I'm saying? You have to. Like, it's like kind of like non-negotiable because it's coming at you. And we see it all day, 24/7. You can't let a man pressure you into that. You can't let the pressure of other women, in the rat race. Because again, that's what I was going to say on Candy has a series going on right now on her page. She has like a 3-part where she talked about body. Mm-hmm. It's like it's something about body. And so she has different people coming on and she kind of is chronicling through her surgeries that she's had. She had a breast reduction. So she talked about that. And she was just very open. Her position was kind of like, okay, I got the money. If I don't like it, I'm going to get it fixed. But I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to say, oh, I just look this good because I've been in the gym. No, I didn't had about 10 surgeries. I didn't have breast reductions, breast implants. I didn't have lipo here. I had some fillers here. She's just being very transparent about it, which is is awesome because she's also bringing awareness to the dangers of plastic surgery. Y'all seen that thing where the women were lined up in wheelchairs going into the airport from getting their asses done? That's crazy.
That is crazy.
And y'all work at Sears, like, bitch.
Exactly. That's when I was like, in the neighbor
You a
next
bus
door
driver
is getting
I don't
her
understand.
boobs and her teeth done for who?
For who, bitch? In the industry, it's kind of like, okay, you selling.
It's for this.
You have a product to sell.
And that shit
for
is
this.
that shit
It's for
is
this
in
fucking app.
cycles because that shit is going to go.
It
That
is.
shit it's a slow reverse.
Girl,
of
Kim
it
Kardashian
happening
was
now.
like, I want a flat ass. Oh my God, I'm so tired of
Bitch,
this ass.
shut up.
I want a flat ass. I'm so tired of this ass.
We're going to see a
Bye.
body. It's going to reverse. We're going
Yeah.
to see that. Okay, I want the slender thing.
I want the natural
And
athletic
once,
or something.
Unfortunately, but once the men start to like the more of the natural thing,
Then it's gonna be
Then
a-
I
yep.
feel like it will be a more of a reason to
yeah.
be natural.
And now bitch is going to be going to run and take that ass out, which a lot of them have already done.
And the boobs.
And the boobs, which she basically did. She got the breast reduction. Kim is trying to take the ass out. K. Michelle took the ass out.
Drea says she want the boobs out.
They want the boobs out. You know, she talked about, getting the lipo. You be skinny here and fat in your ankles or fat in your neck and shit. What the fuck happened?
Fat has to go somewhere.
Right, and
so it's like, that's why this flat stomach with this super, super round face or your knees are extremely big.
It doesn't
like,
And
no,
I know
because the
you
fat
know
still
some.
goes somewhere.
And it's just pressure because we want to, keep up or whatever.
is.
But at the end, I mean, and I'm not
working at Sears,
anti-surgery, bitch. I'm not anti-surgery at all. But we do have to beg the question: why do we feel like it's not? And even going on Candy's page, and we ain't cross mode because she ain't plugging us, but. If you go on her page and she talks about it, you start to question, like, do I want to go under the knife?
Yeah.
That she shows the whole thing. Like, she literally had to get put under.
That's
she had a
scary.
consultation with the doctor for about 15 or
scary.
20 minutes talking about the complications, talking about, you literally are having surgery. The surgery is 6 hours.
No.
So 1 hour you're under and they're
way.
prepping you. They're cleaning you, anesthesia, all of that stuff, right? Getting you completely under. 4 hours for surgery and 1 hour for recovery. That's 6 hours.
Gosh.
For a surgery, for a breast reduction.
No.
Imagine lipo
That's a
and fat
lot.
transfer or
That's
all
a
of these different
lot.
things. It's
And they say that's dangerous.
Imagine
like,
how your body feels though when you come off of that.
you're
Like
painful.
when you're at home recovering.
It scared
that
me.
shit is
I'm
probably
like-
painful
Right.
as fuck.
And breast reductions are for those who have back problems because
Exactly.
their breasts
natural
are
big
so
breasts.
heavy.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we've turned everything into just such a cosmetic thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, we should just, it's not easy, trust. Like, I think all 2020, I probably gained weight all 2020, every week for every fucking day.
Right.
It's not the easiest. And of course, it's like, we're in fucking LA. Beverly Hills is down the street. It's so easy to book a consultation and put a fucking lipo on credit.
Get
like,
that hair credit, girl.
Right,
Right,
Keep it
okay.
moving.
Get a little quick 2,500 cc, take it from the front to back, and I'll crunch out the rest. That is
Crunch
fucking
out the
easy.
rest,
You know
bitch.
what I mean? Like, let's be clear
Get
of
on a
what
6-month
the
program and shit.
right? Like, this is what the fuck it is. You know what I mean? If,
Walk out of here.
but it's like, no, like, love yourself at every step. Do the work that you need to do. And should give yourself a 6 month of dedication and let that be.
And that's what she
I
said.
agree.
Because she had Tierra Monet on there as well, who had she's a YouTuber and an artist, but she had she talked about her cosmetic surgeries that she's, gone into.
Yeah.
You have
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at the prior joke.
you have to work out.
Yes.
She said you have to stay active or whatever. She said in about 6 months, if you don't, that fat will come back. And now you got a skinny waist.
Yeah.
Or Tierra Monet said, like, because her lipo was weird. Like, she got a super cinched waist. It's super flat here, but she got muffin top up here.
See, that's whack.
And she said every single time you do something, now you want to do something else.
Yeah.
Oh, now I want to fix it because it's not quite how I want it. Now I'm going back to do another lipo. Now I need to do another breast
you
because
keep
it's not.
tweaking,
You keep
tweaking,
tweaking.
tweaking,
Girl, that had me looking at it totally different. Because girl, we didn't all thought about like, okay, a couple nipper tucks.
Yeah.
I could do.
But
It's a quick fix, but I think that the workout aspect of it is worth it in the long run.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm someone myself, and I'm not gonna just on a lower spectrum. Like, I lost 20 pounds
Okay,
during the
girl.
pandemic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Got it tight, got it right.
I
You looking
went from-
good out
I
here,
was
girl. You looking like
my goals are different
2000.
now, of course, but I went from 156 to 136
Nice.
in 4 months.
Right. Right.
And that was just strictly because I was locked down. We didn't have anywhere to go. restaurants were closed. I couldn't eat out if I wanted to. I couldn't drive through nowhere, and I wasn't working.
Right.
So I really just locked in and disciplined myself on a workout regimen. I was working out every single fucking day.
Right.
And you can literally see, and I tell people this, I'm like, if you can just get on a plan,
Right.
you can see results in 30 days.
Yeah, for sure. The discipline.
All you have to do is just if you can really lock in on a meal prep and working out at least on the low end 2 days a week, you can see results.
And walking is helpful too.
You can see results in 30 days.
Yeah.
You'll see a difference.
Yeah. It's kind of like, at the end of the day, do whatever makes you feel good. If we're going back to the Lizzo example or whatever, if you round and you got them titties and you got all of that here, there, and everywhere, and you're confident in that, you need to own that. At the end of the day, like, we're just going to keep it real. Like, you still have to own who you are and exactly where you're at exactly that time. If you feel like you're motivated to change whatever it is that you don't like, you can do that too. Whether that be surgery, whether that be working out, doing it the fitness way or whatever, but just make sure your intentions are in place and make sure you're checking in with yourself and you're knowing what the motivation is to want to make the change, and be conscious of the fact that it's something that you want to do, not something that somebody is pushing you to do.
Exactly.
And sometimes the goal may seem really big, and you have to break it down.
Break it up.
If you know you can't necessarily, and this comes from my favorite motivational speaker, Les Brown, my absolute favorite. He talked about just like his struggles with losing weight, and he's like, if you can't do 100 sit-ups that night, start with 5. Yeah. Do what you can so that it can motivate you to do more.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Goes a long way.
So, because if you set the target too high and miss, you're going to think you failed.
Right.
So you make subtle changes. Like a month ago, I set an intention just to change up my eating habits in the day, and just that day I happened to order something different.
Right.
It's almost like I just my subconscious ordered for me. Like I opened something, was like, oh, this is what I want.
Right.
And so far I just stuck to it. I said that to say, just set your intention and be pure about it.
Right.
And just move in that space. Just do a little a day. Love you for you. Mm-hmm. And before we close, we do have, I'm sorry, look at me closing the show. Because there's two things that I want to do. One, us as a trio pod, we would like to send all our prayers to everyone that's affected by the hurricane right now that's in Louisiana.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a lot going on, and we don't know where our listeners are, but our thoughts are with you. Hopefully this podcast is a good, just maybe a distraction, a laugh, whatever it is, whatever it can provide for that. We just happy that we can. But you guys are in our prayers.
Absolutely.
So I didn't want to close out the show without acknowledging you guys that's affected by it. So please be safe. And we do have a hometown favorite.
Who is it? We didn't talk about that. I don't know if I didn't approve this. No, I'm just saying, who is it?
Go for it. Who we got?
Oh my God. Our hometown favorite is none other than the fabulous creator, none other than this. She called herself an entrepreneur, but a swimpreneur.
Oh, I know who it is. Oh, yeah.
She is from Los Angeles, California. She launched her swim line maybe 2 years ago and is doing amazing. Mayhem Swim. She is so body positivity. She is the GOAT with all things. She is someone who passes all information forward and holds nothing back. Whatever you need, she is always a call away for everything, no matter what it is. She's launching a new a new line actually coming soon. I think it's called the Fox Label, Sweet Fox Label. I'm not too sure, but all her links will be in the description box. And she deserves this because I've called her several times about some tips about the Trio Pod.
Yeah, for sure. And we took them too. Right. Some of them we already have implemented.
And she comes through with the come through. So we are shouting out you, Morgan, because
Yay, Morgan.
you deserve it.
On some family shit.
You does.
And talk about the body, because Morgan got the body. Okay, she got the. Talk about the body. She got the body. That body is good, girl. It's so good.
It's so healthy.
It's so good and chocolatey.
Yeah, and Christian still want her to stretch.
Bitch, I've been waiting for them jeans for a year. Girl, I know we on back order because of COVID. So
yeah. She looks amazing, and she's always super supportive, and just the energy is always very genuine. We appreciate you.
I will say that she was an early arriver, an early supporter on Fallon and her music.
Absolutely,
and she really was. She supported all things local creators. That's really really her bag, and I really appreciate her like for that. So thank you. Any last words where anyone will be this weekend?
Love yourself. We about to go into
yourself.
Labor Day weekend. Y'all might catch a little bit. Oh, and next week y'all might catch us somewhere, you know,
out and about.
impromptu, out and about. You never know. So just stay tuned.
And with that said, we are out.